Hi all. Let me make sure it's on. Hi all, it's me, Rebel Glam. Um, it's funny that I end up blogging again. But I had something I thought was important to say, so I decided to blog today. I want to say thank you first of all, though, to all the people who have been sending me um, well wishes about my baby. I really appreciate it. Pregnancy can be very trying sometimes because you don't feel like yourself. But I'm getting through. Just getting tired now because my tummy getting kind of big, so getting kind of tired. But I hope you're well, and let me get to my topic now. Excuse me. What I want to talk about today is how we have grossly failed. We have failed our young people horribly, and this has been going on for a while. So that some of the people who have been failed are no longer young, and there's many reasons for this, but I want to take it from a Barbadian or Caribbean perspective because I want to deal with countries who suffer from post-colonialism, because I think we have it a little worse, but I'm sure that this has happened to people all over the world for different reasons. Being pretentious being the most prevalent reason, but as I said, I'll stick with what I'm sure about as far as the topic is concerned. Now, I'm a chef, and when you're doing food safety, one of the major protocols for food safety is called HACCP, which stands for Hazard Analysis Critical Control Point. Hazard Analysis Critical Control Point, or at least that's what I remember to stand for. I hope I'm correct, but I know the critical control point part is correct and the hazard part might be a different A word. Anyway, in HACCP, what it teaches you is that, yes, in general with food safety, you wash your hands, you cook your food and whatnot, but there are certain points in food preparation where what they're called critical control points. Points where small mistakes can poison people and kill them. And it just teaches you at which points you need to pay the most attention. And although I believe that there are several critical control points in a person's life, as far as teaching a person how to live is concerned, there's the basics. There's the critical control point of when you're born, making sure you're fed so you can live and taken care of, because you can't take care of yourself. Then you start to get a little bit older, and there's that critical control point then where parents try to instill certain values in you and also teach you how to listen, how to take care of yourself, whatever. And then there's another critical control point when you become a teen. And I think that whenever people start to think for themselves, that would be the most critical control point. Meaning that oftentimes when a child is small, when they need us, we are comfortable with talking, we're comfortable with explaining, or we explain in ways that we are comfortable with. Mommy, where the babies come from, the start. We say whatever we think is easiest. Santa Claus brought you your gifts. Some of us, not me, lie to our kids, and the kid is then forced to grow up kind of, and truth is kind of revealed to the child kind of late. But even in that, it's not so bad. But one of the most critical control points is when a child is a teen. You don't have to show them how to bathe or take care of themselves physically usually anymore. You cuss and make a lot of noise and you want them to do well in their schoolwork because you say it so they can get a good job or whatever, even though half the time it's just so that among your friends you would not have to feel shame, right? Because a lot of parents they just want to be able to say my son is a doctor, or my son has 8 CXCs at grade 1, or whatever. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't be proud of that, but my experience in life has taught me that there's a lot of things that we think mean something that don't necessarily have to mean much at all. And especially things to do with one type of education, which is academics. A person might not be academic, that doesn't mean they're not a genius. So, we in the teenagers, we are all about talking about those kind of things. But when it comes to really sitting down and talking to young people about sex, and about choosing a partner, and about actually loving themselves, and making decisions, not because we tell them don't bring nobody early, or don't go and get a baby to bring home here, but because we tell them love yourself enough to do what is going to benefit you in the long run, and not what you feel like doing right now. We failed them. We have not passed the test. We have allowed the hazard to come, and we have not addressed the hazard at the point when it was critical to do so. I think that young people in Barbados in general have a lot of stereotypes to deal with, but at the same time, we don't look at how older people use young people, or trick young people, or discriminate against young people just based on their age, and worse when it comes to their sex as well. For example, somebody will hire somebody who's young to do a job because they just came out of school. They might have to pay them less. They don't have any experience. And then all of a sudden that person is getting problems getting paid, or if that person asks for their money, they're being treated like if they're being rude. We don't show young people respect as human beings, but then we want to be respected for whatever reason. And I think, first of all, the lack of general respect, which we as Black people especially have, and I believe that is directly linked to colonialism, right, is a problem. We are not willing to see children as individuals. It's almost like if we view them like if they're this broken program which we try to fix, or this wayward thing which we then try to sort out and tell what to do. It's as if we forget that we ourselves were young, we ourselves were children, and that we ourselves always had this thing that we wanted to do. And I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and I told her, you have a baby, you put them on your lap and they see this light fixture or something shining in the distance, and they might be 2 days old, and you see a little glint in their eye looking at this thing. A month old, still glinting at it, looking at the thing, and maybe they might reach out a hand. You see, by 6 months, man, that child could start to crawl and move around a little bit by itself and pull across, and the first thing that child's going to go for is the thing that it's been looking at its whole life. And I think that is one of the beautiful things about being human, and about being individuals, and about knowing what you want. And it's a shame when all we ever do is try to stop ourselves as we get older from looking at the things that we always wanted, from following our dreams. And what happens to us is that if the parent has low self-esteem and we don't see ourselves as anybody, we don't see our children as anybody. So rather than building up in our children the possibility that they could be great, we kind of don't want them to get hurt in case things don't work out. So we kind of downplay them, and we are actually honestly failing our kids. I had a note about it in my phone, so I love it. The other thing I want to talk about as far as failing kids is concerned, and people in general, our friends, our family, whoever, is how assuming fails people. We have this way where you see a young boy, he do good in school, he's good looking, he's fine, he ain't sick. That time that boy got low self-esteem, he got issues with talking to people. He has all sorts of different issues, because every single human being has something that they're struggling with, something that they need to improve upon and whatnot. And basically becoming a king or a queen, in my opinion, a ruler of your own fate, it's all about you having those fears, but you conquering them and moving forward so that you can be successful in following your dreams and in uplifting others in the process. So you have a little boy and you think he's a king because, or a little girl, you think she's a queen because they got so much going for them that you can see. But who told you that they can see it? But by us assuming, we've really damaged our young people, because once they look art, or art, O-R-T, this new word that we've made up on social media, once they look art, we feel they're okay and we don't have any time with them. We can't wait for our children to get big so that they could take care of themselves. We can't wait till we could get time to do everything we want to do again and not have to worry about them, you know? And we're not interested in asking a child, what do you really think? Who do you really want to be? It does not matter if what they think is utter nonsense to you. How can you help them see that if you don't actually know what they think? Or if you just keep shoving your belief down their throat without trying to see if they honestly take your belief seriously. If they don't believe the same thing that you're going to believe, they're still going to do shite. Well, what you view as shite, and they're still going to end up leaving all the things that you teach. Or worse yet, they're going to live a hypocritical life, a double life, trying to please you and hiding behind your back and doing all the things you don't like. And some parents know that their children just aren't as great as they pretend to be, but they're so happy to be amongst their friends and family and pretend like if their children are so awesome that they're not even interested to find out what really happened. They're just interested in finding out what the kids say happened because it sounds better than what really went down. You know, how many women's sons are rapists? But he said that he didn't do it, and you said the little girl hot, and that's that. How many people's daughters are hot? But you rather believe that somebody like the girl and this and that, and you don't want to believe that the girl bought their flipping down the place. And it's you know, it goes much further than sex. But my point is, by not actually talking to people, find out how they are, who they are, you know, we fail them because we assume they're okay. And I think, you know, in the light of what I said, I'm hoping that you who are watching this vlog today can think about the people in your life, especially the younger ones, everybody though, because older people need attention too. And a lot of us are broken because of being brainwashed and being told we're no good and all sorts of things to bring down our self-esteem, which stem from slavery and wanting people to think very little of themselves. And we need attention too, and old people need attention too, but especially at that critical control point when a person is just figuring out themselves, they're going to make mistakes. You're in those teenage years going on, transitioning. You know, are you a man? Are you, you know, how many people went in jail in that very early 20s, very late teen stage that didn't have to go just because they did something stupid? You know, a stage where you know a lot but you don't understand a lot. We need to pay attention to the people in our lives that we claim to care about, especially the children, and especially during the critical control points, to find out who these people really are, what these people are really thinking. I had a cousin who committed suicide, and until you know somebody personally that has committed suicide, you might think the person was selfish. They didn't think about all the people that loved them and went and killed themselves. You might think all sorts of things. But what you might not understand is that in that moment, that person might not have felt loved at all. And that if that person could have seen footage of their funeral, they would have never done it. And if that person had heard all the questions, why this and why that, while they were able to hear them, maybe they might still be alive. So maybe instead of shoving things under the carpet, maybe instead of assuming that people look fine so they are fine, maybe instead of saying, he's a good boy, she's a nice girl, them good, them had it better than I had it, maybe it's time for us to take responsibility for our role in uplifting the future by making sure to analyze the critical control points. I know I love you. Have a good day.